Hi, my name is PoChun and I graduated from Emily Carr as a film major last year. And the project I want to pitch is a documentary of Just Paper, and I will get into deep more about what's Just Paper. So I think it's not a secret anymore that we purchase every day, almost every day, and that every time when we purchase, we create waste, no matter what. You bought a coffee, you buy anything that you create a waste, even though you just wipe your nose, do anything, you create a waste, and then it's not a secret anymore. We do those things for essential reasons, and we do that because we need to do it. And lots of time we didn't even realize while we're doing that, we create a waste. And actually, in my culture, where I come from Taiwan, but actually in lots of Asia countries, we have a paper called Just Paper, which I'm gonna show you today from most of foreigners' eyes because they and also like there's a many different kind of design, not just one type, and then they literally put a single layer of gold on it. But what do we do with Just Paper? We burn it. Like we buy these products and we just burn it, and while we burn it, it's for a mourning process because when our loved one dies, and we literally just burn it because we believe that in our culture, if we burn Just Paper, we can send the money to them, to our past loved relatives. They can have currency in their dead world, and then they can use this money to do something. And then, which make the business get into even further. Some people try to create some fake iPads, houses, guitars, everything that you think your loved one who passed away, they believe they can use it. So like, for example, one of your relatives really like playing guitar, so you buy a paper, like fake paper molded guitar, and then you just literally buy it and then you burn it. So you hope they will get it, which is, you can't like imagine this, but we do this culture in our lives. But why? I do think like in our cultures, when you believe that you can burn something and send it to them, if you can do so, why not, right? Like it's just like for you guys, you might think, oh, this is incredible. Why I would buy something? Literally, I spend my currency to buy something, and next step just to burn it. But in our deep culture, lots of people during this process, they were mourning. Like they are grieving during this process, but they didn't know how much pollution they actually create. So look at this number. This is actually the number just in Taiwan, not even all the country where burns Just Paper. We burn this much paper, and just the tree to create this paper is ridiculous. And making me think of the world today, which I assume everyone knows, the fires in Australia, California fires and everything. Actually, I think people think that's a way that nature gets back to us, but I do think we have responsibility for all of this. We so sad that the fire that in Australia that burns, but what about the paper we burn every day just for the mourning process? And besides, actually, Just Paper is not a paper only when your loved one passed away, you would burn. Some people, they try to make their business getting better, so when the business opening, they will burn Just Paper in front of the shop, hope like some gods will protect them. There's so many reasons to burn the Just Paper. So therefore, I deeply ask myself, and I come up with this sentence. Either way, we mourn, we sad about it, but we're still doing the things we don't even know we are doing right or wrong. And as an independent filmmaker, and as my major, my passion is creative films and media, because I believe video, media, films are the quickest way to telling people or to educate people in the quickest way and to distribute it. So I wanted to make a documentary about Just Paper to let more people know about what's Just Paper. And through thinking of what's Just Paper, we can make our actions. So here I say, despite the growing consensus on climate change, there are still many people who deny climate change or dismiss its human cause. However, even those who believe in climate change often don't do enough to prevent it. And so I really want to create a documentary about this and then to tell more people about the story of Just Paper. But I do come up with a really serious question, is documentary enough for us? Is everyone going to watch a documentary? So here is the question I kind of think of. A documentary is the quickest way to reach a wide range of people. It's an easy to consume media that doesn't require audience to leave the comfort of their home while providing a visual presentation of a topic. Nowadays, like Netflix is a really hype thing for people to watch at home. So more and more people watch a documentary at home than the days before. Like 10 years ago, I would never watch a documentary at home unless I'm in a class. There's some class that's telling me to do so. But I do think the way the media of documentary is changing now. Before, the documentary always really serious, have lots of interview of people and ask them questions, and you just hear them. Basically, it's like a lecture. But right now, the documentary on Netflix is not like that anymore. Like they will, through the narrative story, they will through so many different ways to telling you a really impact, powerful, and heart-touching story to telling you a story of a family, of a country, of someone, celebrity. So you get a more like touch with the story. Therefore, you want to watch this documentary and you actually learn something from it. And besides, right now people put a lot of animation in there now. So actually, more and more people watch documentary. But for me, I still think that's not enough to impact more people of noticing the problem of climate change. So here I have 2 questions for you. A, your friend asks you to go on the film fest and watch a documentary about the environment. After the film is over, will you set out to save the world? Or B, your friend sending you a link on Instagram to a horror show video about a cat trying to catch a fish, but the fish turns out to be a monster made of gross straws. Yes, so I do think documentary is a really good format and a ways to distribute to the world what we're trying to say and what we're trying to present. But also B, I believe still someone's going to choose the A option, but I do think B in nowadays is the quickest way to let everyone knows about the information. So a few years ago, straws are really a bigger issue long time ago already. Everyone knows we use plastic is a bad thing, but not until there's a video of turtle choking with straws and like that. And then people started so impactful and so sad about those turtles' dies. So actually right now BC banned to use straws. Lots of restaurants they already banned to use plastic. I believe the action is from the short video just on the social media. It's not because of a film, of a documentary, of a climate change event. And right now, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, browser on their phone. And they commenting a lot, share a lot. They put their thoughts a lot on the internet. So where I want to do here is like I want to make a documentary format, but I want to use social impact and other format to make a short horror film, for example, a short horror film about or a shorter comedy, anything that's interesting to the teenager, because they are the biggest group of people that can impact this world. And when they share more, and the people will come through back to my original documentary, which make this documentary bigger. And that's what I want to do here, because I do think that's maybe a possible way to get more people's attention. And yeah, so what I need here is, because I do think as an independent filmmaker, I have the ability to write, film, direct, and crewing people to make a film, a media. But what I need is experts to actually telling me the numbers of the world and more source of the climate change sustainability, so I can get a more accurate information into my media productions. And also research, because like the number, I'm just telling you the number here, you would never know that's real or not, or that's just something I search on Google. So where I need to do more interview and a survey for the people who can give me more accurate information. And since I wanted to use short social media format, I need to get people's information, what they would interesting to get, to watch and so on, accrue. And yes, I want to use social media, but actually, personally, I'm bad at promoting a social media account or anything. So where I need this help, I need a marketing to tell me, oh, how can I make a video hype just like a turtle talking by straw? And I do think that's the quickest way to make people change.
Thank you for your pitch.
I'm sorry if you could.
Thank you for your pitch.
Yeah.
Very interesting. How much money do you need?
I don't know yet, to be honest, because in the past I always do like small project as an independent filmmaker, so I never think of a big number. But I do believe the more money that I have, the bigger influence and the project it could be done. So, but I don't think I will give up. So I think no matter how much money, I do think I can create something with that amount of money.
I think that's my feeling is that you could actually start with nothing.
Yeah.
You could and you say there's something in your pitch. I think you need to make it a bit more clear, because you mentioned that the best way to do it's a short, funny or scary video on Instagram, and yet your main pitch is that you want to do a short documentary.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking well, why? Let's just do the Instagram short story and you have major impact. So
Yeah.
I think you'll have to clarify that. You know what I mean? To distinguish.
Yeah, I think my original really thought is I want to do a documentary for whole thing about how this culture behind the joss paper and everything. But I do think without any promotion, marketing skills, it's the chance that the people go to pay attention of the documentary is really low. So it's more like a trailer. If you could say it's more like a trailer distribution to make people pay attention of the topic, and then eventually they will go pay more attention of the documentary, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But for me, it seems to me that I have a hard time to see the business model.
Yeah.
I can see you want to do bring social changes, and it seems to me you could do this writing opinion pieces on newspaper, submit it, and then get that change. But if it's for the documentary that you want to really push and have money, I think it'll be great to know hey, how much money do you need, and then we can do together. Maybe another way too, I don't know if it's possible, but to create this paper that is sustainable or whatever, to find an alternative. And maybe something you could also look at, it's, I know now they sell those tree, if you pass away, instead of doing the traditional coffin and put you on the ground, you can just ask to have a tree.
Yeah.
And if you just Google it, you'll find there's some business that came out of this movement. So you'll find maybe a workable business model.
Yeah, thank you.
I think for the joss paper idea is good in a way you target the younger generation,
Yeah.
because the older generation, because of the religious and also the ritual, it's very difficult for them to change. And it will continue until certain point that the new generation come up and try to change in that way. That's, I think, the Instagram or even the social media can help. Not only Instagram, there are so many other ways right now. But for the main feature theme itself, what is the outcome you want to come up with the film? What do you want? Not only showing the history or the storytelling about the joss paper, but what kind of outcome you want to come up after people looking at it or watching it? What is the outcome you want?
I think I didn't present really clear before, but I think what I'm trying to do here is, because the most format is just media or anything, it's just telling people what's the fact, what's the number, what's the, how can I say, what's the thing we should do now. Like, you should, change the world. You should be more sustainable. You should stop using plastic bag. But I do think the people who can get it, they will just get it already. They don't have to watch a piece to get it. They already have so many sources they can get it. This is a bad thing to do. So what I want to do is like use a different way to intrigue people. They didn't even realize they are changing. So I was just really short about talk about like a few months ago, I tried to make a short horror film, and it's about a woman who really likes eating fish. Eventually, she becomes a fish and eat herself. It was really gross, where I'm not gonna put it here. It was super gross, but I do see people put on a comment on my social media says, well, I don't think I will eat fish in the next few months anymore. And I do think, well, I can actually just because a really short piece of film, I change people's changing without telling them, hey, maybe you shouldn't eat fish, you should be vegetarian, you know? So I do think maybe use this kind of way. I would create the documentary of something with directly telling you what you should do, but with a narrative or with characters in there and telling you, influence your mind and make you change in action that without you even notice. I think that's the outcome I want. Yeah.
Alan, we've got to wrap this. If you got some last comments here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love the concreteness of this from a communication perspective, that you're really giving a physical symbol to a much bigger problem. I would say there was a great point about audience, where your audience really isn't older generations that have this ingrained. It's younger generations who aren't as attached to the custom. So think about how to reach them, even if that means you're not reaching more established audiences. That's fine, because they're not the ones who will change their behavior.
Yeah.
And think about how to focus the narrative, because I know you said, here's this moment in time, we've got all of these problems. But in reality, like just even the symbol of fire and climate change is so powerful. You can probably take a bunch of those narratives out and just focus on the symbol of like fire and burning around that. And I think that's a very powerful story.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic.